For over 50 years, the world has wondered, does Dolly Parton's husband even exist? A man who has never walked a red carpet, never stood beside her on stage, and never given a public interview, and yet, he's been married to one of the most famous women on the planet. Who is Carl Dean? Over the years, the rumors have only grown wilder. Some say they secretly divorced decades ago. Others believe Carl never existed at all, that he was nothing more than a carefully crafted illusion to protect Dolly's privacy. And yet, after half a century of silence, Carl Dean has finally spoken out. What he revealed has shattered decades of speculation, and the truth is even more unbelievable than the rumors. Why now? Why, after all this time, has Carl chosen to step out of the shadows? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will change everything we thought we knew about Dolly Parton's greatest love story. Imagine being married to one of the biggest music legends in the world, yet no one knows who you are. Carl Dean and Dolly Parton's love story began on an ordinary day in 1964. Dolly was just 18 years old, fresh off the bus in Nashville, chasing a dream she wasn't sure would ever come true. Carl, a 21-year-old road construction worker, spotted her outside a laundromat. It wasn't a Hollywood-style meet-cute. No flashing lights, no cameras, just a young man who saw a girl with big blonde hair and an even bigger personality and was instantly drawn to her. According to Dolly, the moment they met, Carl told her, "I'm gonna marry you." She laughed it off at first, but Carl meant every word. But here's where things get strange. From the very beginning, Carl made one thing very clear: he wanted nothing to do with fame. While Dolly was destined for the spotlight, Carl wanted the opposite. Even as Dolly's career skyrocketed, Carl refused to step into the public eye. No interviews, no red carpets, no Hollywood lifestyle. He made one request: "I'll love you forever, but keep me out of it." And Dolly agreed. In 1966, just 2 years after meeting, Dolly and Carl secretly got married in a tiny ceremony in Ringgold, Georgia. Why the secrecy? Well, Dolly's record label didn't want her to get married. At the time, country music executives believed a young female artist had to appear available to fans to sell records. A husband? That would ruin her image. But Dolly didn't care. She and Carl eloped, bringing only her mom as a witness. From that moment on, Carl committed to a life in the shadows. Unlike other celebrity couples, there were no glamorous appearances, no public love declarations, no paparazzi shots of them holding hands in Beverly Hills. Instead, Carl stayed home, running his own asphalt business, while Dolly traveled the world, selling out stadiums. For most couples, this kind of separation would destroy a marriage. But for Carl and Dolly, it was the secret to their unbreakable bond. The less time they spent in the public eye together, the stronger they became behind the scenes. But there's one part of their relationship that baffles everyone, and it's something even Dolly herself has admitted is unusual. Carl has never watched Dolly perform live. Not once. Not even in the early days. Can you imagine being married to a global music icon and never seeing her on stage? Even when Dolly played to sold-out stadiums, Carl stayed home. But why? Dolly says it's not because he doesn't love her music, he just hates attention. He feels like if he ever went to one of my shows, the cameras would all be on him instead of me, she explained. For most people, this would be a red flag. But for Dolly and Carl, it was just another part of their love story. Because Carl has been so invisible, the rumors about him have been outrageous. Some tabloids have claimed they divorced decades ago, but never announced it to protect Dolly's image. Others suggested Carl was living a double life or had secret children. And then, there was the craziest theory of them all: that Carl Dean doesn't even exist. Some fans believe Dolly made him up, that he was just a fictional character to keep questions about her personal life at bay. But those rumors were put to rest in 2016 when Dolly and Carl renewed their vows in a private ceremony. For the first time in years, Carl appeared in public. Even then, though, he refused to let the press in. After more than 50 years of silence, Carl Dean has finally spoken out. And the reason? Dolly Parton's legacy. Carl, now in his late 70s, knows that time is running out. He wanted to share his story while he still could. For the first time, Carl gave a rare statement about his wife, saying, "Dolly has been my greatest love, my best friend, and the brightest light in my life. The world knows her as a star, but to me, "She's just the girl I met outside the laundromat all those years ago." He went on to say that he has never regretted his choice to stay out of the spotlight because, in his words, "She shines enough for the both of us." And with that, one of Hollywood's greatest mysteries was finally solved. In an industry where love is fleeting, where marriages fall apart under the pressure of fame, Carl and Dolly have done the impossible. They built a love story that didn't rely on public appearances or red carpets. They found happiness in privacy, simplicity, and trust. Carl Dean never needed the world to know his name, he just needed Dolly to know his heart. And now, after more than half a century, we finally understand why this love story was never meant for the spotlight. The truth was never about the cameras, the interviews, or the fame. It was always about them. What do you think of Dolly and Carl's love story? Do you believe privacy was the secret to their success? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more shocking celebrity stories.